All right, hello everyone. It's your boy, Camille. That's me. I've been gone a little while. I have not posted on the Collective Heartbeat Instagram page or anything, quite frankly, for a little while. So I'm here to talk about that. January 4th, I landed in Nashville. Within the first 24 hours, just by going to the bar, I got to meet JMR, who is a guitarist for Dan and Shay, and Ryan Dawson, who is the drummer for All Time Low and engineer-producer at Track Happy Studios. The very following day, I made friends with a girl named Baylor Wilson. You guys should check her out. I'll link it somewhere here. She is a Texas-originated Nashville singer-songwriter. Make sure to show her some love. Let her know I sent you. 2 days later, I got a tour of Third Man Records. Special thank you to Carl Bergman for doing that for me, taking the time and showing me around. As you can imagine, it was pretty surreal, and everything everywhere in that establishment screams Jack White. Obviously, it is owned by Jack White, so you can only imagine. A few days later, I was fortunate enough to set up a meeting with Mitch Dane of Sputnik Sound Studios. The studio is owned by Mitch and shared with Vance Powell, who most notably has worked on Jack White Records, the Rockin' Tours, the White Stripes, etc. Mitch Dane probably most notably has worked with a band called Jars of Clay. He was so nice to have me all over and literally just shoot shit while drinking coffee for like 2 hours. I thought about 40 minutes max have passed, but really I was there for almost 2.5 hours. On top of that, I was later invited to a producer luncheon, which is a once a month gathering of producers. I would say a little higher on the totem pole than myself. Nashville-based producers that are within the industry, such as Vance, such as Mitch. Pretty surreal. It was great. Honestly, it was just a burger joint, 5 tables joined together, and like 20 cats of just talking engineering. It was something. Everyone was super welcoming and seemed not to really be concerned with where you are on the totem pole. It just goes to show how tight-knit the community is over there. A couple days later, I got to hang out with my dear friend Kate and Lucia. What's up, girl? Special shout out to her. You guys should check her out on iTunes, etc., YouTube. The next day, I visited Blackbird Studios and Blackbird Academy. Again, special thank you to Mark Rubel for giving me the tour. Oh my God, the sheer amount of gear that is present over there is redonkulous. All the rooms were absolutely stunning and sounded great. At some point, we went into this crazy diffusion room. I'll drop a picture right now. But basically, they set up a 5.1 surround sound system and played me Thriller mixed in surround. That room alone sounds insane. And to hear Thriller, which is a pop masterpiece, it was one of those moments where you're just like, I just heard elements in the song that I've never heard in my life. I legit actually teared up a little bit. After that, I visited the Nashville location of Vintage King, got to connect and make friends with Josh Colby, who is a representative there. He also owns the Elephant Room Studios. Feel free to check him out. Sweet guy, and if you have any questions, he's got answers. After that, I spent a couple days to myself where I just kind of went around town and wanted to see what the day in the life of a Nashvilleian, is that the correct term, is, and got to hang out with my friend Carson Cody, keyboard player of Vacation Manor. Shout out to you, my friend. Again, I'll link them somewhere. A few days later, I went over and visited Lij Shaw of Recording Studio Rockstars podcast at his home studio. Lij is the face of the pushback movement when it comes to the Nashville law that prohibits home studios to operate in residential areas. If you're interested in helping out or are affected by this issue, you guys should contact him. I will link it down below. If not, if you are a recording engineer or an artist, I still think that you should at least listen to this podcast because it's great. Shout out to you, Lij. Later on that day, I visited Kyle Monroe of Tiny Tape Room at his soon-to-be new location, which he is building out now. A total sweetheart. So if you need anything mixed or mastered, hit him up. He good. Towards the end of my time in Nashville, I got to visit Billy Decker, a 15-time #1 country mixer, at his studio. I've been following the guy probably since around April 2017. He has been a pretty big influence on my workflow, and honestly, it wasn't until I got to see his workflow, how he operates, and work with some of his tracks that I didn't realize how much I liked mixing country. Billy is quite a character, but a total sweetheart. He will get back to you no matter what. Awesome guy. Couldn't be happier with the fact that I took the time and visited. Once I came back, something like 4 days later, I went over to NAMM in 2019 in Anaheim. Got to see both Lij Shaw and Billy Decker once again. I spent most of my time at the Joey Sturgis Tones booth and Unstoppable Recording Machine. Visited some friends at AEA Microphones and made new friends at Soyuz Microphones. I also got to meet Ola England, Fluff, aka Ryan Bruce, Joel Wanasak, Machine, the producer, Eyal Levy, Andrew Huang, Rob Scallon, Bo Burchell, Matt Brown. Made friends with some guys from the Unstoppable Recording Machine team, Joey Sturgis himself as well. So overall, had tons of fun. Special thank you to Andreas for hooking me up. God bless you. Once I came back, my good friend Cole Blackamore and I kind of pushed forward a new venture under the name SiameseTV. We just kind of been making skits. We are planning on doing some music videos. We actually had just submitted a Doritos commercial for one of their contests. Definitely frozen.
Dude, I'm freezing.
Flaming.
Hot.
All right, fired up. Nice work. Dude. Just in case. Other than that, I've been mixing, working, and currently possibly moving into a new studio separate from my house studio. So that's pretty exciting. On to the good stuff. Music recommendations. So outside of checking out everyone I had just mentioned, some things that I've been playing on repeat is a band called Mayyors. That's Mayyors, specifically the song White Jeep off of Megan's Law's album. It is impossible to find on Apple Music, but it is on YouTube. So again, I'll link it down below. Then we had a surprise album drop from Better Oblivion Community Center, which is Phoebe Bridgers and Connor Oberst from Bright Eyes. If you don't know who either of those are, you're missing out. And now the combo of them two is truly spectacular. Most notably, I would say my favorite song off the album is Sleepwalkin'. Lastly, while in Nashville, I was at a bar and heard a song come on the speakers. Little do you know, they started playing the whole album through, and it was a little someone called Tanukichan, the album Sundays. My favorite songs are Like the Sun and Bitter Medicine. I would say that if you're looking for something that's a mix of like Sonic Youth, Joy Division, and Tycho, but with really soft-spoken female vocals, this is you. Melodramatic 90s drum machine, super fuzzy record. Like, it's freaking cool. Again, link them around. Just wanted to say special thank you to Taylor and Hannah for letting me stay at your place in Nashville. Also, I'm probably gonna switch over from trying to make these once a week to closer to once every 2 weeks. There's just way too many things going on for me to even promise you guys this as consistently. But let's try out this video thing. Leave your suggestions and what you're listening to down below. I will make sure to check it out, and I'll see you guys next time.
やったね。
Deuces!
Meanwhile, across town in this less than fashionable cubbyhole at the San Francisco Examiner,